Alright. Been a long time since I've been on here. It's all good. I'm finally back. Just wanted to come through, see what's going on, show a little love. A lot going on. Peace and love, everybody. Been a quick minute. We've been trying to get it together here. But let me just chop it up with y'all for a quick minute before I head in. Watching a lot of media stuff, what's going on TV, and it's kind of crazy, you know. It's like when you leave the matrix, you get to see things different from how you saw it before. It's important because when you're in the matrix, it's like you're in a fight and you don't know what side you're on, who's who. So you just fighting, but you're trying to judge who's your friend and who's not your friend. But it's all a fight. It doesn't matter who. Everybody's the same. Peace and blessings. Let me see. I've got my phone sideways. All right, that's what's up. I'm gonna turn this up in a second so I can read these, but let me just chop it up for a quick minute because it's important for us to understand this fight that's going on. Let me turn this up. Cam, what's good, Cam? All right, okay, let's get back. I did. All right, this phone is telling me to rotate my device back. Just so I can read the comments. So let's get back to this now. It's like a lot going on, like I was saying. When you read the Matrix, it's not the same. So you get to see and understand what's going on inside the Matrix. And, I see a lot of fucked up things going on, a lot of bad things, a lot of deception being played out on society. And society itself just falls into it. It's like we're part of the game that we want to be tricked. We want fucked up things to happen to us. And that's what this is all about because I don't know, I can't put no fingers, but we do need help. We do need a better understanding of what's going on. And I'm gonna try to bring something to light so that everybody get a greater understanding of what's going on. Now, I'm gonna start off with politics. Y'all see what happened in politics. It's nothing really more than to not take no sides. It's all just corruption. Corruption is going on right now. Like I told y'all, we're in the age of the hyena or the wolf. The Aquarian is. This is what the Egyptian symbology of that zodiac sign is, and it stands right now because we went through a change, a revolution within ourselves. Just it trunks everything. Some people want to hear moralistic things, politically correct things. They don't want to hear the truth. But say if I didn't like you and I pretend like I like you and always be around you and pretend like I like you, but I really don't like you, you're not going to learn anything more from me. You're just a sheep. And I'm like a wolf, a lion. I could attack you anytime, do whatever I want. You're innocent. You don't even know why I'm doing it to you. That's called vampirism. When somebody do that to you, you're being vampire. But now, here go the important parts of it is that a whole bunch of us now, we're the sheeps, and we don't realize what they're doing to us when we put ourselves in these positions, when we look up to them, when we want to participate in these things. Well, when Trump came into power, he told us that he's the lion, and we realized we was the sheeps. And with us waking up to that, we started running to where we belong, started doing what we're supposed to do. A lot of entrepreneurs came out because they realized the system is full of shit and it ain't gonna work for them. And so when the COVID hit, the lockdown came, everything, that's something spiritual that's going on. It don't really have nothing to do with no virus or no disease. That's why the mask is not consistent. There's no scientific fact. There's no scientific facts of everything. This is all speculatory and theoretical and a whole bunch of computer numbers with the media helping to spice everything up. So let's put everything into perspective so it makes sense now in just common sense. Well, COVID got to do with more spirituality, more revelation of what's supposed to be coming. It's coming right now. It's coming in the form first of spirits that's taking over a lot of people's body, a lot of people kundalini's activating, a lot of people just acting strange, having mental disease. Well, then the pharmaceutical company now, this is why you see so much commercials and the fight between the Republican and the Democrats is being fueled by the pharmaceutical company. So the Democrats is going to win regardless of this um, corruption or not. This is just how the course is going to take. Because inside human beings, through their mouths, is called the word. And the word right now is spirit. It's alive. So they have to cover your mouth. This is not about a virus or a sickness. It's about covering your mouth so that you can't speak into things into reality. Right now, speaking is hypnotizing people. It's fucking people up. It's very powerful. So they're trying to keep us from not speaking to each other. It's in front of each other. I'll explain more of that in future videos because that's where we're headed. But it's called the opening of the mouth. This is the age we're in. It's called the opening of the mouth, and it's very important for you to understand that because there's spiritual beings here. I showed y'all dancing with the ancestors, playing with the gnats, and how you could project your energy into. It's the same thing. They're all projecting from inside of us to around us, and it has a very important significance in our life. The first thing you got to realize is there's a change of power, a new God, a new spirit that's over the earth. This change of power is coming in with the Democratic Party. And with it, these is not the same spirit that we was just under entrepreneurship. Our freedom was given to us in the sense that somebody told us the truth. And in telling us the truth, we knew where we belonged and we started headed towards those directions, like I said. With that, the economy was good for people who was under the COVID lockdown. As you can see, they gave them funds, so people were still homeless but had money or had access to money. A lot of people opened up their own businesses, herbal business, soap business, candles, wax, all types of business that started popping up. But at the same time, while that's going on, a lot of the major businesses started falling down too because they was making the lockdown, everybody took a loss. Well, this is something now that's going on a bigger scale. We're going to get to that so you understand everything on a whole because this is like the rabbit hole going deeper, deeper, deeper to make one big sphere. So now on the bigger, higher level, you have another group of people that controls both the Democrat and the Republican here to destroy America. They're going to destroy the morals of America first. Then when Biden comes, we're about to go to war with China. They're going to start some bullshit about COVID because you already hear China's trying to say that it started in the United States now. You see, they didn't say all that when Trump was under power. But they're going to, this is the media though. This is not real. This is all fake. But they're going to set it up that China's going to keep saying that the United States brought the COVID over there. The United States is going to get upset and say that they started over there. It's going to start a war. Everybody's going to get back together and start hitting the Middle East again. Underneath China, underneath Trump, we left all that alone. He kicked everybody out the country and the economy was good. Mad jobs. Everybody could live. Cash App was ruling. People is all right. But all that is going to be taxed now. They're going to take it from you. Y'all have to realize right now, the only reason why COVID is winning is because y'all don't have no nutrients. All the food y'all eat from the United States has no nutritional value to it. So y'all are susceptible to flus, colds, diseases, anything. It's not really that there is a COVID. Y'all, the food y'all eat subject y'all to these things. Same thing in Europe, all the city places. If you notice where it's hit, if we look at the Caribbean, look at Africa, it didn't hit like that, not even in China, because of the foods we eat. So they purposely know that so y'all is easily targeted with those things that was spraying right before COVID, which was the chemtrails, the nanobots, everything that's inside your body. So it could be induced at any given time when they want. It don't really have anything to do, like I said, with covering your mouth with your face. So now that you understand that, What they're doing is bringing down the morality of Americans first. This is the first stage before war. Every time war is going to happen, they bring down the morality of the people. And so right now, that's what we're experiencing. These lockdowns, the same thing. The taking away of your guns, the same thing. But we're headed towards a World War III with America, with the Democratic Party leading the whole thing into it. That's all this is all about. So I want you to understand on a higher level, evil parties ain't shit. But in the process of it, like I said, Trump was able to wake up Americans, but don't let Biden put you back to sleep because what's going to happen? Simple things. They're going to give y'all credit. They're going to give y'all 2, 3 months credit. By then, they're going to fuck your money up in 2, 3 months and y'all can't pay that credit. Now, y'all going from having money to being in debt, to having to do extra shit, do strange things for money. So that's where they trying to put y'all when they see y'all giving y'all 2 months grace period or whatever to pay or whatever. Don't go for that because we're going into some type of economic problem. Now, as far as the vaccination is concerned, remember, there was no vaccination under Trump because there was no COVID. Why would you need vaccination? Vaccination coming under same people who we was all fighting about Biden. Biden. Who's behind all of this? One person we ain't hearing nothing about because they know if we heard about it, it'd be a problem. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is behind everybody's funding for all this. He funds all medicine, all vaccinations. So from Pfizer to all of them is getting funded by Bill Gates anyway. And none of those things is ready. It's a propaganda. That's why you hear they're falling apart right now. One person arm swollen up like a basketball. Another person is sick. You got to look at it like this to keep it simple. Your body is 98 point something degrees. If they got something that they got to keep a sub-zero temperature, how the fuck you gonna put that in your body? That don't make no sense. But anyway, people's gonna do it out of desperation. Now you got to realize with the sheep, you got two groups of people here: people who watch the media and people who don't watch the media. The people who watch the media is under the influence of believing democratic policies, believing that the government is here to help us and they're going to do things for us. They use them to control the rest of the people who know the truth. The truthers are the real one because the sides is neither one. So they have a way of using television and its propaganda of who they want us to believe or what they want us to believe is being pushed, and that's what we watch. So right now, it was all about Trump on Twitter and Trump all over CNN and Trump fucking up the world. But now, as soon as he's out of power, you don't hear nothing about Trump. Even if he is doing something spectacular, you're not going to see anything like that because media wants you now to think the world is a better place while they're about to destroy you, while they're going to fuck up your credit, while they're going to tax you, while the housing and the whole economic system is going to go up, and the rich is getting richer off of this. This is a Ponzi scheme at the high level to make y'all lose all your money. That's what this is all about. Think about it. All the shutdowns took all the restaurant people and the lower class people who have these businesses and restaurants and bars and gyms. They out the game. Clashed out. They took all that money. That money go back to them. And so it's going to happen again. And they're going to get the lower class people even more. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all got to be prepared for all of this that I'm telling you because this is what's really going on. Neither party is good for you. They're kind of working together at the end of the day for the higher people that's doing this to you because it's spiritual. How is this spiritual? This is why it's spiritual. You notice how they close down all the churches. Churches don't have no say so in this. Reverends and priests and none of this have any say so because this is the source of what's going on. They know that this is spiritual. And so they cannot have religion brought into this because then it will be highlighted and they will get an idea what's going on. Because religion stands on a whole different ground. You see, the people themselves is going through a spiritual change. That's why you see so many people take to the streets and protest and it's not having it. It's not the same like in 2011, 2012, 2013 where they had the crisis actors and people used to believe it before they noticed the crisis actors would have been the people from the 90s and the 80s, because this always been like this. We just never paid attention to it. So now that we're paying attention to it, they got to make sure that we are kept dumbfounded and don't understand what's going on. So that's what's going on here. So you get a good understanding that we're being monopolized, we're being played, and there's no way out if you want to look at it from either party. No, it doesn't work like that. It comes with you being independent. You always was. They're trying to drag you from being independent so you could participate into their games. You use their food, which is all processed food, which is going to get you sick. Once you get sick, you have to go to their hospital and use their insurance. They'll tell you that you don't have to pay. Yes, you do. You lose your sovereignty when you go in there and you give up your name and you give them your information because they have a system that is government funded. So if it's government funded, it's under a policy. It cannot give it to you, the human being. It has to give it to your straw man. So for them to use your straw man, you have to sign off your name, which now you give away your unalienable rights. So you give away your rights, and then you go in there and you get all these fresh free benefits. But these benefits is not going to cure you. They're going to actually have a side effect. Every one of them have a side effect. They know what healing is. They know what heals, but they're not going to give you those things. They're going to give you the things to mess you up in the long run. Just to fix something, they mess up 10 other things. This is a fact, but they know better. They don't think the doctors don't know better too. I'm probably sure they don't do it to their own family, but standard practice make them do that. So once you realize that from there, the pharmaceutical company, and from the pharmaceutical company, you got the penal system or the correction system. All of these is working together right now to get super rich. Once you realize this, what's going on, LK? It's good to see you. Once you get all this, then you get a big picture of they're pulling you into something. They're trying to rock you to sleep. They're trying to make you believe in them as something that's good, while they're the ones who created Antifa, the LGBT, whatever, and they promote what you see on TV. You watch from Joe Namath in the morning trying to sell your mother something or your grandparents something that's gonna kill them. That's fucked up that they put these old ass motherfucking superstars that people used to watch when they was kids and then tell them to go buy some drug with the side effect that's gonna fuck your parents up, fuck your grandparents up. We gotta stop believing in that. There's only one way, and that's through herbs. You gotta learn that. You got a natural body. What happened is even with this with shutting down of the churches and all that shit, because I tell you that's spiritual. I get more into that in a minute. Should we take the vaccine? Oh hell no. You can't take the vaccine. Vaccine, you never did research vaccine if you said that. What's good, Quara? You know, if you take vaccines, your body cannot fix itself. Your body don't use vaccine to fix itself. Humans made up vaccines probably around a good 50, 60 years now. But from when vaccines first was made, it was never used. I mean, it was never good. It never proved to work on people. Remember, they took the actual results and only showed us the little bit of it that proved to work. But the all around 100%, 30% of it worked. But you could say the 70%, they hid that for years. This is how vaccine got in the game, by hiding the result, making the vaccine court, all that other stuff that you can't know the truth, so you think it worked. They promote it on TV as it worked, but you first have to go research it for yourself, and you will find there is more data to show that it never worked than to say it did work, and to show it was a cover up that said vaccine even works. You got to look at that first. Now, if you don't know today, right now we're over vaccinated. The human body, this is now, I'm not telling you something from my own opinion. You can look it up. This is now, the human body has too much antibiotics in it and too much vaccination in it and too much hand sanitizers in it. Right now, that's what's making our body mutate the way it's mutating. Our body done passed all that. They ain't no vaccination that could protect the body no more because the body done mutated past it. It's like people who taking um Seroquel and all these other drugs. All of a sudden, it don't affect them no more. It don't do nothing to them no more. Your body done adapted to all that. So we're already over vaccinated and over antibiotics to death, so that it doesn't work on us. Germs is gonna fuck us up. Our body is not having that no more. So once you realize that, we're gonna go now into the vaccine. What's the vaccine? And you doing it the standard government way, commercial, you have to go through the rules and regulations. So this take years, 3 4 years. That's a quick way. So how are we getting this vaccine so fast? President Trump with his rapid whatever plan that he put into effect, they saying they're using that. But the whole trick to this, before we get into that, you got to realize how this is playing out. The vaccine comes when he's getting reelected. So either he held it back himself to get himself reelected and see it didn't work right now and just saying, fuck it, yo, give me the props for it, because that's what he's saying. Give me the props, not Joe Biden for it. This is all a game. This is all a game. Now, if you study medicine, herbal medicine like I do, then you know there's no such thing that could do that to your body, much less there's no such thing that could fix your body like that. This is a game. Why? Because if your body had all your vitamins, your minerals, and your fluids right, you wouldn't have no problem. You wouldn't have a disease. Now, if you're deficient in something, you're subject to anything from strep to emphysema. You're subject to it because you're deficient in something. Americans is deficient in something. That's all that's going on. So when they purposely make you deficient, how come nobody don't talk about actually giving people healthy food or fixing them through food, fixing them through herbs? Why nobody's speaking about this part of it? Because they want you to keep eating bad. Just like when you catch diabetes, you don't get diabetes like it's a word, diabetes. No, what happened is you get yeah, your blood sugar levels start going up. But before your blood sugar levels start going up, which creates these antibodies, this is what occurs. Inside your body, you're already having plaque, crustacean, rust going on inside your body. First, it comes in as arthritis. This is what we call itis. Any type of itis you get. This means your veins is clogging up. So now, when this happened, you don't produce certain vitamins no more. So if your body was producing vitamin C keep your immune system going and your whole body all right. So you don't produce that no more. You don't have no immune system. Your immune system don't work. You don't know you don't produce vitamin C. How you know that? Did you go get your blood work done and check to see if you have vitamin C flowing? No. So the first thing you got to realize is the foods we eat, processed food, blocks all of that. Read anything, go study anything. We're blocked, and that makes them able to sneeze at you and you get sick. It's not what you think. Even with cancer, everything, there's no such thing as these things. They put you in a state of that by the foods you eating because you're eating foods that's not from God. Your body's from God, an organic thing. Let's call God something organic. He made you. You're organic. You only could put other organic things in your body, but what we put in there, shit in a can, shit in a plastic bag, shit in a bottle, shit in a can. That's what fucks us up. So once you realize that this is a hustle that they did, I'm gonna break it down to you. Simple. Long, long time ago, Rockefeller Foundation been studied agriculture. Before they studied genetics, then they studied genetics in the 30s. So they studied agriculture in the 16th and 17th century and mapped out all the foods and what's the nutritional stuff in the food. Then they took it out. Then they came back and brought you the RDA, recommended daily allowance, and the RDI, recommended daily whatever that intake is. So now, why did they do that part? You got to realize because of that thing called scurvy. Remember the scurvy story that everybody was getting all type of, they thought it was a disease. Good night, how you doing, Qual? And this disease that they thought it was They thought it was such a big killing of epidemic, a plague just like this COVID, when in actuality it was a lack of vitamin K. This lack of vitamin K made them have scurvy, which made it was a disease. It was a simple thing. So it's the same thing happening now. Our body, because they pulled out all the real food, and this was done through what's called Codex Salamandrius. This is a committee made up long time ago by Rockefeller to say what humans supposed to eat and what humans ain't supposed to eat. What's nutritious and what's not nutritious. All right, so they played with that and they wind up fucking us up, and the scurvy thing came about. So now they went back now and started with what we got now, the RDA. They made up the CDC and all these societies now to actually tell you what to eat. Well, when they made up those, they did that fucked up. The one we learned in school is fucked up. It's full of saturated fats, animal fat, butter, everything on there is bad. Now, just to keep you on the right level of things, vegetables. Where did vegetables come from? Nobody never ever thought of this. Vegetables. How come the pharaohs and them didn't have vegetables? And in the Bible, there's nobody with vegetables. Where vegetables come from? Okay, this is where your Jesuits come when you hear Dr. Sabi talk about hybrid foods, um, foods that's not real. This is vegetables. You got to understand, they made these recently and they're very low in iron content, vitamin C content. Anything that they say is in there is in a very low amount compared to wild food. What we call vegetables back in those days was grains. You hear grains. Anything you read in the Bible, they stored them in canisters. They was grains. So if you were getting grains, they was either beating out the motherfucking root of a tree, or they was crushing the leaves up and making it into a powder and storing it and making it into a paste and making it into a bread or a noodle or something. They did not have no vegetables. So if you know now vegetables is the leaves and the roots and the trees, those leaves and roots and trees was medicinal to us. That's what healed us. We didn't have to take medicine. Remember, when you read about the Christopher Columbus, there was no Indian who had a cold or knew what sickness was until they came over here and brought all that. So you got to understand it was the foods they was eating. They couldn't get sick. So now that you understand, we're subject to getting sick. That's why they have the hospitals. That's why you see them with the commercials, because we was miseducated on what food is. We follow that RDA and we fill ourselves up with saturated fats, and this is what works against the body. Just to make you understand real quick, you have what's called a mitochondria cell. This is inside the middle of a cell. This is the first, look at the smallest thing on your body, the cell. The middle of it is the membrane. That membrane is responsible for 97% of the energy of the whole cell, which is your life energy. It's responsible for 97% of the chemical energy you make. So what happens now? When that mitochondria cell gets low, you get weak, you have no energy, you can't move. So how do you fix that? As a matter of fact, I put it so simple. This is what's called cardiovascular disease, CVD. You get cardiovascular disease when the cells don't have no energy because they can't communicate. So now this is what happens. What had took place is you got what's called coenzymes, other enzymes that feed that little mitochondria. You know about mitochondria DNA, but you don't know about mitochondria, the cell that is actually in the center of your membrane that give you power. That's all your power. So now, when you realize what it feeds on omega-3 fish oil and this other substance called CoQ10, which is a natural substance your body makes. That's the only way you get energy. Those two is like your positive and negative, and it needs those two to work. So what fucks it up? Saturated fats like cooking oil, vegetable oil, coconut oil, any type of other oil that is not a omega-6 or omega-3. Your body only uses those two oils. So if you're putting anything else in your body, you're killing yourself. That's why you age so fast. That's why you get the big bellies, the tiredness, all this stuff. Your heart start getting crustated, or what they call it oxidized. You get into an oxidative state, oxidative stress. This is all you clogging up your shit. With it now, once you block up your arteries to a certain extent, this is just on the cellular level. I'm talking about the mitochondria now. If that's blocked up, it can't talk to the other cell. It's like your arm won't move no more. You be trying to move your arm and your arm don't move. It can't talk to the other cell to tell it to move. So you got this going on all inside your body. This is what's called free radicals now, floating around all in your body, mutating you inside. If they don't tell you these things and you keep eating all this stuff, you're going to keep making the situation easy for them to give you COVID, easy for you to get sick when you get older. But if you knew what the body take and knew all what I'm trying to tell you, then you would have been doing something to protect yourself. You would have had an armor, an extra bodyguard on you that when they throw these things at you, you could take that plus more. So this is what's going on here. Half the people in this world who got this thing called autoimmune disease, their own immune system is attacking them because they ate fucked up foods. There's no such thing as an autoimmune disease. Your body's producing something that your immune system is attacking. It's in your white blood cell. This is what free radicals do when over a long period of time it turns to oxidization, which turns to first you could say arthritis, then it's going to turn to diabetes, then it's going to turn to Parkinson's disease, then it's going to turn to heart problem, then it turns to Alzheimer's, then it turns to dementia. One situation, and they manipulate off of it and give it specific names to make y'all think it's separate things. It's one stage going through a whole bunch. Inside, you're just turning into a rock, to be honest. Till it gets to your heart, then you're dead. You understand? You need to understand these things because we eat fucked up. That's it. What you see on TV is telling you I'll kill you. Anything you see them feeding you, trying to promote in them commercial will kill you. You need to ask them what type of oil did they fry that in. You're a human being. Your body cannot eat saturated fat. So they must have cooked it, fried it in olive oil. Olive oil is omega-6. Omega-6 is good for your body. It actually make you lose weight. But if you cooking it in any other thing, you're going to have fat. You got monosaturated fat, which is more fucked up. You understand? You don't want that. You got animal fat. There's so many fats. Corn is fat. Corn is saturated fat. Corn oil from corn meal, corn, whatever you want to call it. And guess what? They feed the animals corn. The GMO feeding is corn. So when you eat the animal that ate corn, you ate saturated fat. I'm going to tell you something real quick. Animals was not saturated fat, what we call omega whatever. I forgot what it is now. I'm not thinking. But we had animals was actually omega 6 and omega 3. Animals, when you ate them, the wild animals who ate from the wild, actually healed you, actually was medicine. That fat, that meat was different. When you get domesticated meat that they feed them GMO corn and saturated fats, give them injections to protect them from the diseases, they fuck you up because you're eating that. So you're eating the same saturated fats, not the same animal like some chief Kalalua who ate his animal in the wild. His shit is good for him. Yours ain't. You get yours from the corporations and all that. It's a big difference. Same thing with herbs. Wild herbs is 20 times stronger than if you bought some herbs cultivated in some field by a corporation. That the herb itself is GMO or they pesticide it. If the herb was they protected from it getting the leaves all bit up, they fucked up. If bugs don't eat your leaves, what makes you think you're supposed to eat it? That's how you know it's good for you. If they eat it, you could eat it. But if they don't eat it, what makes you think you're supposed to eat it? They smarter than you. So you got to realize when they spray fertilizers, when they spray pesticides, what's in those? Cadmium, mercury, lead. That's what we're eating. It's in our food. High toxicity. This is heavy metal. This is where heavy metal comes from. You get a toxicity thing going on. Once you're in a toxic state, the body cannot work no more. It's a wrap. So you got to understand, you have to stay away from being toxic. A lot of people, I say around 80% of Americans is toxic, meaning you have a lot of free radicals running around in your body on one simple thing, a cold, you fucked up. You understand what I'm saying now? So you will have to try to protect yourself. Get yourself something to antioxidant your body. When I say oxidize, you turn it crusty inside, rusty inside. So antioxidant will be the opposite of oxidization. So you will deoxidize yourself. So you got to pay attention. This is why it's so easy for them to kill us. It's like a hunter just playing duck hunt. He could shoot at whoever he want and they'll take him out because we only built for it. I'm telling you now, you need to put that back in your body. You're too domesticated. You got too many stores. You got too many Siri. You got Google telling to turn your water cold and hot. That shit fucking you up. We ain't doing what we supposed to do as human beings. God made us, we gods. We're not motherfucking robots. Robots do robotic shit like that. Human beings get out there and go in nature. They go dig, they go hunt, they go do real shit. We lost all of that, and that's why it's getting to us now, where we get sick very easily and we get in mental disease because of our immune system attacking our own body. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't see COVID as real now. No, I haven't seen it survive no place where it's healthy people at. I don't see it survive in no place where everybody's eating healthy at. It's only in places that's fucked up, that's cities. That's easy to urban areas and populated areas. Fast foods is at and all that stuff. Pay attention, man. Pay attention. I would peace and blessings, Hiblios. I like that. I like that. Yes, man, because you gotta understand what's going on. Everybody's not here to help nobody. Everybody's is let me break it down. Everything is deceptive in this world. Nature make everything deceptive. You can't blame no Democratic Party, no Republican Party, no president. Blame yourself. You understand? Because you're looking outside yourself. That's the problem. You see, they got another world here that if you want to look outside yourself, you have no choice. Participate. The pyramid. You get on the pyramid and you participate. So why would you want to look outside yourself? You know what's outside yourself? Hope, envy, jealousy, lust. Think about it. The first thing that you see, you're gonna hope for it. You see a nigga in a car, you hoping for that. You see people living good and family hugging up and kissing, I hope for that. Whatever you see, you're gonna hope for. But it ain't really hope. It's what you see, you green eyed. You want it. You want what somebody else got. Yes, Melazella. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta understand hope is not a good thing. Hope for things you can't see, man. That's real hope. But when you see somebody else got something and you hope for that, or you watch something on TV and hope for that, that ain't hope. That's being greedy. That's wanting something you ain't have, something you ain't earned, something you ain't deserved, something that ain't even got nothing to do with you. Think about it. What the fuck are you collecting shit for? Collecting shit a motherfucker make. A corporation made. It's just sitting on your dresser. It's just there. Energy blocking you. We do that. We accumulate energy blockages. Then what happened at the end of the year? We dump it all out and go get some more energy blockages. We spiritually, that's what happened. We spiritually stuck, but look around us. You know when you're spiritually stuck, you have a lot of material things. When you have a lot of material things, it's to fill that void, that insignificance of not realizing or not admitting you're spiritually stuck. When you spiritually unstuck, you don't need anything. You do everything. You could create everything and anything anybody else do, but that's not even the point. When you're on the spiritual journey, it's not an external journey. It's not an outer journey. So no hurt, no pain, no insignificance, none of that coming to you. What coming to you is creativeness. You take something and you remix it and make it better. You see it better. You go help situations. People who's arguing, you telling them, look. Straightening people life out, helping the militant little kid that's always in the gang. He's in the army now. This one over here, he's doing that now. The leader one, he done opened up his management company. Putting our society together how it's supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Not here trying to say I want to be a junior achiever, the crab in the barrel pulling somebody else down to get up, or capturing some man or capturing some woman and then saying I'm gonna keep them in the house and be a servant. I'm gonna take care of them. And no, we gotta stop that. That's that old school shit. That's what they did to us. We can't be doing it to each other now. We gotta elevate each other. And the only way we're gonna do that is waking up, man. This is not a game. They're not gonna ever stop with the bad food. They're not gonna stop with the bad promotion. They're not gonna keep. They're never gonna stop trying to kill your parents as soon as they get up and. You don't see them on TV no more. You ever notice TV's only geared for like people between 16 and 30? After that, the older people don't have shit. And then they kill them off because you know why they kill them off? Because they could tell y'all the truth. And they don't want them here to tell y'all the truth. So they get them out, then they lie to y'all. Like they doing now. All this is a lie. All of it is a lie. If you know the truth, it would be like y'all met the devil if y'all know the truth. Because they done twisted everything around. Let me give you an example. Who was I just talking to? I was talking to my man today, and he's telling me, he showed me a tarot cards with some little demons and devils on it. Demions, so they call them demions, guardian spirits. That's what the Greeks call them, demions. The Gnostics too, which is the Egyptians. So now I'm telling him, yeah, those is the beings I see. I see them all the time. They be my teachers. And he said, I knew it. But why do the church, everybody got these as devils, as evil things? And I'm like, but wait, if you do the knowledge before the church was calling them devils, the word been around as Devi in Sanskrit, which is like the chakra god. You see the guy with the spear inside the chakra or the circle? You have many of them in your body. That's what they're calling your devil. You have that in you. You can't get rid of that. And so you got to realize this journey that we're on, we could be deceived by them turning ourselves against us, using religion against you because your religion, you can't help but listening to your spirit, your soul, and the God in you. And they manipulate those to make you right, move left, move right, think how they want you to think. That's why it's being deprived to you right now. But you can't help being but true religion. That's just you. Only thing is greater than that is the truth. Y'all love the truth. Wherever the truth is at, y'all gonna chase it down because it hits the soul. It's for your soul. It goes in your soul. You want food for your soul. This this is the lie. All of this is the mask. We all hurting inside. We all scared inside. But nobody's gonna tell you that. You understand? That's why nature's deceptive. Everything in nature is deceptive. The elks never see the lion when he's coming. The lion always fade into the grass. Nature made him fade into the grass. But it's a lesson we all must learn. You understand what I'm saying? The elk have to know when it's time to go drink and when it's not time to and what's around them. So it's the same with you. You cannot just let these politicians, not nobody, just guide you how they want to guide you. You guide yourself. It don't have nothing to do with you. The rest of the world could be blowing up and falling apart. It has nothing to do with you. Your experiences is not even on them TV shows we watch and admire. We put it in our psychology, but we don't put our own creativeness inside of our mind. We don't create it what we want. Make a blank space and then put in there what you see. Your shit be filled up with what you see on TV. Our characteristics be a bunch of people from TV pulled together to make one personality, which is yourself. We got to drop those and first say, I'm scared. I don't know what I'm doing. What's going on, Mike? Rising Lily 234. Greetings. Once we're able to say those things, we're not able to face ourselves. And you could rise, not the mass, not the person you're perceiving yourself to be, not the person who was educated by his experiences, not the person who was educated by a system, not the person who was taught by their parent, not the person who was taught by mistakes. No, 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 no. That don't count. That don't count. That will make you the person you are. What you want to be is who you've been. That person already don't give a fuck about that. That happened many lives. It lived many lives of that. It want to know where the light is at. It want to get to the end. It only has one focus. It's called your subconscious. Your subconscious self is only out for your benefit. That's all they care about is your benefit. What are you learning that you didn't learn yesterday? They don't want you to keep learning yesterday. That's like running on a treadmill. So you have inside of you something deeper. Can you discuss the power of love, Mike? But you have something inside you deeper, which is your subconscious, that's here guiding you. It's taking you on a journey. And sometimes you be like, damn, how did I get to this point? Or how I get to this? But it's your subconscious that's leading it. It's the subconscious that take you into your dream world. If you was to drop everything you believe, everything you thought, everything that you're seeing right now, ain't nothing will happen. Only thing will happen is your subconscious will come to the front. The true you will come up. It's being repressed by what you was told, what you read, how you feel, your fears, your anxiety, your wants, your needs. All of this is weight that pushes back to that. Only time it comes back up is when you go to sleep. Then it free up. And what happens? You realize you could fly out your body. You gone. You think you actually in another motherfucking movie or something. No, your consciousness left with your ethereal body or your astral body because you could do that if you don't have all that weight on you. So in the daytime, we're these great receivers of and these great admirers of, and we put these ideas all up on ourselves, all these responsibilities on ourselves. But in the back of us, when we lay down at night, there's somebody special in there, somebody who's a knower that is just trying to guide you, the conscious person, to the real you, the subconscious person. I'm getting downloads that these so-called ancestors are evil entities, and I found out that we are Starfleet commanders here on mission. So, where do these ancestors come in at? Star Tarot, I don't know. I haven't seen that movie. Sound like a movie to me because I didn't know I was on no command fleet or no commander or anything. And I don't know what evil is. I believe evil is only in the transaction. If you shut up and I shut up and we both stand there, we can't do no evil to each other. But if I open my mouth and you open our mouth, evil will start. So I don't believe that there's no evil entity. It's the interaction between the two of you that makes it evil. You understand what I'm saying? We're on a cosmic lineage. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't no movie. We on the cause. Well, I can say malevolent. Well, let me break it down to you, Star Tarot, real quick. Let me make some sense out of something for you. We are ourselves like this: right side, left side. You have a battery. You have a positive and a negative. You have 24 hours in a day. One is dark, one is light. There is nothing in this world that don't have two sides to it, including a coin. So if you're trying to tell me that you're only one side, good, only experiencing good entities, what is that? What part of the world is that? Even the yin and yang sign is two colors, black and white. Everything is, for one to exist, it has to be in two. So for your bad side, you have a good side. For your good side, you have a bad side. That will make you complete. But to try to kill your own bad side, you kill your good side. To try to kill your good side, you kill your bad side, which will delete the whole thing. So I don't believe in this evil and good. It's when you come across life, you're gonna have temptations. That's why they said deliver you from temptation. If we do fall into these things that we decide to call evil, it's evil up to the person, the perceiver of it, the one having the experience. But I don't believe it's evil to say it on a whole because there's a lesson in it. And learning the lesson is what the real truth of it is, not the actual experience itself. You understand? The experience might hurt, it might be painful, it might seem evil, but what did you learn from it? Let me make you touch the fire and burn your finger. Is that evil? Or let me ask you afterwards, what do fire feel like? How many people could tell you that? But you can't because you touched the fire. So, in our own experience of saying something is evil, we miss learning something. We miss the truth in something. A person must always learn evil first before they know what good is. Because you could come into this world as the good son, just like the story of the prodigal son. He came in here as the good son. He stood with his mother, listened, he was always doing obedient. The other son was out. He broke out. He left. But when he came back, his pops made him head of the household. And they asked him why. He said, Dad, I stood here and I did everything you said. I worked for you. I did everything. How you make him head of the household? And he said, because he has experience. Experience of both good and bad. You would say he's an evil man, but he has the knowledge of good and bad. The boy that stood home, he only had the knowledge of good. So he's not able to be balanced. He's half-sided. But if he was to actually had experienced bad first, when he came across good, he would have known what good was. But if you only experience good, you can never know what bad is because everything else is going to seem bad. So remember this, it's the bad that create good, just like it says in darkness was first, and darkness was the chaos, and out of chaos came out light, came out intelligence, came out consciousness. Everything came out of chaos because you have to realize it's a probability in it. That's all it is. Probabilities. Yo, I wonder if he's going to beat me up. I wonder if it's going to happen. I wonder. Ignorance is what we call that. Ignorance. So you're in a probability running through your mind, creating. You're creating thought forms, a whole bunch of entities, creating. Then eventually one of these entities becomes smart and stop and say, wait, let's take all that you created and make it into something. Make it into an atom. Make it into a proton. Make it into an electron. And you start making things. This is now where you get consciousness start coming into chaos and order start coming into being. So it's actually the fear that creates our reality. That's like a black hole. You understand what I'm saying? I say that to say I want us to change our conception of how we see good and evil. Because only a human being look at it from that perspective, from a divine perspective or a God perspective. We're all going through our own version of what you would call good and evil. But you can't take a baby that's crawling and say, get up and run like you. You understand? He has to go through his own level of it for his experience, for his evolution of his soul. But then you to go through yours of your evolution of your soul. And the most things that we see is these two things, darkness and evil. And I'm gonna give you a good conception of both of them. There's on the color scheme, Roy B. Gibb. You know the whole visible light spectrum is called Roy B. Gibb. There is no black on it. So where we get black in our reality, there's no black. That's what I tell you. When you can't see something, we become ignorant of it and it becomes dark to us. But there's no black in space. There's no black nowhere. We can't see those frequencies. That's why it's black to us. One. Same thing now. When it comes to what we call fear, it's only something we are afraid to experience. When we experience it, it's not fear no more. So those two things is both the same. It's darkness within a human being. It's not darkness that is consistent outside in the world because there's no black. And the sky is really magenta or really emerald color that thing that we're calling black or darkness. It's not what we consistently would see. um, all our ancestors are all in civilizations were aware of the devil. All right, listen, LK, I want you to look into this because what we you see, I don't know what you get your devil from. You got to realize if you're talking devil, you're talking religion, you're talking something you got out of a Bible. Prior to that, there was always a devil. He was called Shaitan before the religious one. So you're doing it from a very young time. Now just take off the L off of the word and you find where the actual word comes. It's a Sanskrit word. The word is Devi, and Devi is a person that's a god. It's not a devil. And there is no such thing as devil. There's no such thing as devil in Egyptian writing. It's Set is equated to the devil, but that's not the devil. That's another force. These is all forces. So if you was to look at it like that, then look at it like this. It's this devil or whatever that we call the tempter that actually came up to Jesus and said, "The world is yours. I give this world to you." So if that's the case, then this world belongs to the devil. Okay. Now this is Star 13. She said, "I get that the earth, that all that Starfleet teaches that, but what about these ancestors?" All right, let me break down ancestors to you on a quick basis. Star Tarot. You see, what we call ancestors today is not really ancestors. You got a lot of pseudo people that don't know nothing, and they call them ancestors. This is how it works. This is the real way. When the Egyptians did it, they didn't call them ancestors. They didn't. As a matter of fact, Egyptians don't even have a record of their mother, father, kids. When they do their funerary thing, it only is them, and they don't use their real name. They change their name to a pharaoh name, which is son of a god, and they only promote themselves. So you couldn't even find out an Egyptian's ancestor. Those people that you're calling ancestor would be their blood ancestors. You couldn't track them down that way because they don't leave no document like that. They're not superficial. So what is ancestors? Ancestors is called elemental spirits. These is not human beings. Why? Because let me ask you a question. This is the question. If I'm Damian Samuels, right, and I die right now, right, and I come back 30 years from now, which image is Damien? Is it this image of me or the one that you're going to see? Let's say I come back tomorrow with a new face, new everything. Or let's go before that when I was another life. You see three Damiens. Which one is the ancestor you're worshiping? The answer is none of them. Because why? You're a soul. You're not a body. You're not the flesh. That stays here on earth. So when you're saying you worshiping somebody that look like somebody, you're lying because it cannot go past the earth. What only thing goes past the earth is the soul. The soul never changed. The soul always looked the same. But the image that you're worshiping is gonna change because you're subject to the pressure per square inch in this dimension. So that's what gives you your form and your shape. But once you leave here, you don't have this form or shape. So the Egyptians knew this, so they already knew who their ancestors was. They knew them as those other beings that you see that come here and leave. So when you see them with the cat looking thing and those other looking things, they're showing you their soul, the real one that will always remain. You will always see that because that just is what's over them. That's what they're showing you. So when we talking ancestors, you got to read Gerald Massey book. Gerald Massey will break down what ancestors meant. It did not mean a physical human being. But we today think that we're worshiping our ancestor when we see that picture of your mother or your father. But you got to realize they have different look for every time they was born again or they came back again. So you can't say that picture you have is fixed. Those became what we call elementary spirit. After the soul leave the body have a ghost image. The ghost image linger around for a while, but it don't have a consciousness in it. That's a real ghost. It sits around until the whole body's decayed, down to the bone marrow. After the bone marrow leaves, then the ghosts go away. That's the part that has attachments. That's the ones them psychics get in touch with and read, and it makes them crazy. But that's not the person. You understand what I'm saying? That person went with their soul. Their soul go with someplace else, which goes with their consciousness. A lot of things we see, because later on you even have floating souls. They got sheep souls that died off too, because that person left that body, his consciousness, and moved up to a higher sphere. So you have to understand what's going on when we talk this ancestor talk. I don't be talking that old my aunt and uncle and all that talk. That's pseudo shit. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm talking ancestor, I'm talking spirits you can't see. Spirits of your family that come back in bodies, but go back into spirit and talk to us and deal with us and do things with us. They forever. They can't die. But yours is just a picture. It's just a worship. You're worshiping. You know, we follow doctrines like we don't worship. We go and find out. We don't have evil. We don't scared. We're shamans. We jump in out of the body, that is, into our second body, and go over there with them, with the dead, with everybody over there. And that's ancestors. That's ancestors right there. Ancestors is what's influencing us to talk. Ancestors is our intuition. Ancestors is your thoughts. Not ancestor like your dead relative. You don't know who that person was. You don't know the soul of the person. You see, when you get on a high level like a high priest, nobody is who they project themselves to be. Inside of you is your true nature. It's like if you come to me and you're like, "Hi, have a nice day. How are you doing?" And I say, "Hi," and then I smack you, bow. You be like, "You fucking motherfucker, fuck." That's the real you. So you gotta know who's the real you and who is the program. And a lot of us worship the program and don't never knew the person. You gotta know the person. And usually that person, if they never purified themselves, they go back to being an animal. That's why the soul is called the anima in Sanskrit, because a lot of people swear to God that their family is this um human looking person, but they be animals, beasts, creatures. Because you first have to first get your props, as in get your soul, and make it up to the spirit world. You just don't guarantee you that. Why do you think the Egyptians had all them rituals and all that stuff back in the days? They had them rituals because it was called coming in today. It was the ritual for waking up your soul, because people walk around in their ego. Your ego is not your soul. It's two different things. They opposite. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people woke up to their soul and then they send them out. That's coming in today. That's why you had the sons of the widow, all these different initiation, all of them was to actually go get your soul. Nobody has their soul. It's the same thing as Kundalini. When you see the snake in the Uranus, it means he got his soul. His third eye is open. But it's not something that the average person have. As you have to go through some type of initiation, psychosomatic situation, or something crazy of some sort. It's not something simple or something sweet, or you sit next to a guru and y'all meditate and do yoga. It don't work nothing like that. That's a movie. And a lot of us like to feel that way to make ourselves feel good and think we're the real shit, but we're not the real shit. You know, the real shit is here, and they crazy. I'm gonna tell y'all like that. They not like that how y'all make them out to be. It don't work like that. Y'all got to study Dr. Patrice Melanoma. He shows you with the Dagra people how he comes and goes to the psychiatric ward and take these people out. And it's called Birth of a Healer. He teaches you this. The Dagra people is good at that stuff. Because people is not crazy and they're not psychosomatic like they're making them up to be a schizophrenia. It's actually they're having a spiritual connection with their conscious and their subconscious. So all of this, if we don't understand life, everything will start judging it and start telling it is this and start saying this, that, but it's more to it. It's deeper than that. You understand what I'm saying? But can I ask, do you know what will happen next year in 2021? Oh man, 2021 is ugly. And I know that's Michael Deline. You always ask these questions. Why you always be trying to make me out to be like Nostradamus and some shit, man? You got to stop doing that because let me tell you why. I got to tell you this, Mike. For me and you to communicate in the future, when you start prophesizing, when you start reading, your consciousness stay there. I'm in ascension. I've been in ascension for a minute now. I jump levels. I jump. I might learn it today and I forget it tomorrow and learn something else. That's ascension. But you get people who get capped off where they at. They start learning how to read tarot and talk to spirit and they stay there. So they just on this level. They don't get no higher. You understand what I'm saying? And so when they die, that's where they soul be. That's where they be. But I'm going all the way up because I'm on the God level. I'm going to do. I'm what's doing what's called the apophysosis. The apophysosis. Really, I'm gonna be a God. That's what it is. But anyways, that's how it works. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not prone to prophesize. We're not prone to tell people what to do. Because why? If you knew your future, if you knew what you was gonna happen tomorrow, what the fuck is that? You wouldn't have to you would why would you even be here as a soul to learn anything if you knew everything that was gonna happen? No, it don't work like that. All right. So listen, in 2021, from what I see, because what I do, I close my eyes and I get images of the most craziest shit that I sleep with my lights on and I don't like sleeping. But 2021 looks very ugly. All right, I'm gonna tell you now. I seen from a few months ago, a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact, we was when regular beings. It's not saying it was a perfect world, but it was regular beings, regular people. I fly through this other place and I see everything. But lately now, is vampires, and they don't look like vampires. They look like normal people. But as I go through with the spirit guides, and they look like a regular person, and we're gonna interact. The spirits will grab them, and I'm like, "What are y'all doing?" And they open their mouth, rip open their mouth, and they got vampire teeth. So this age that I believe with this new political party, it's got a lot of vampirism is gonna be going on. Vampires. Let me give you an example so you understand how vampires work because I think people take this pseudo. Vampire don't mean somebody's gonna come bite you on your neck. If you saw the movie The Matrix, how they had them all sitting in these pods, they was being vampirized. That's a vampire right there, where they steal your energy. They're called psychic vampires. They steal your energy. So y'all is now the batteries for these new groups of people. They're in the movie too, Twilight. That's why in Twilight you had the wolves against the vampires. Those is the vampire families right there. They don't need to come and touch you. They're gonna siphon your energy psychically like the batteries in the matrix. You're in the pod now. So those people is here. They're coming in by the millions because with the physical coming in, they have spirits that come with them too that's attached to them. And these spirits attack us. They try to feed off of us, give us sleep paralysis at night. So all this stuff is going on now that is going to get worse. Understand that? So aside from that, unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of earthquakes. A lot of earthquakes, especially bridges falling down, is going to take place. And I see a lot of skinheadish type thing, Nazi-ish type thing, starting trouble, trying to pretend to be another type of people, but they're gonna try to make a little race thing go on, which shouldn't work because by now we should all, from Trump, done scrutinize us so much, don't give a fuck about that, and still handle our business. But that's where it's headed. It's gonna be the a lot of people is gonna be sick, and a lot of people is gonna pass away, not from COVID, but from COVID vaccine. But I see a lot of earthquakes this summer. There's a lot of earthquakes, a lot of buildings falling, a lot of highways falling. That was mostly what I see. Where I'm at is gonna be damn near underwater. I don't even know if I'm gonna survive it. That's how it's crazy. And for me, it's something I just do with my eyes closed. So you get an idea. I'm not bullshitting or saying anything. I could just really think about something, say the White House, and keep it on my mind, close my eyes, and it'll run through my head flash pictures, images, and then just stop and I'll go through slow. I done watch from the president's flying in letters to I even look out for my man telling him where his keys is at when it fell on the floor or what's underneath the sink, what's underneath the bed. That's coming easy now since You know, I've been doing it so long and I understand what I'm doing. So it's possible what I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying it in a pseudo way. So I just want you to understand. Where we was at. Um, I was born in Africa and can tell you about evil. LK, yes, yes, Africa, man. I love African evil. African evil is good though, LK. Let me explain something to you. Because we was taught wrong. You understand? You gotta. That's another one. You know the healing wisdom of Patrice Melanoma. He called it the healing wisdom of Africa. It's a very good book. He speak about colonization though. He was there exactly when the Europeans came and he had to run and leave. And when he came back, all his town, the whole town spoke perfect English. He thought he was coming back to some kupulala and they spoke perfect English because they was colonized. But now, you know, and what you're saying of what evil in Africa, let me run on some of it real quick because I love it. You know, I was reading there's some good books. Yo, y'all gotta hit up like the archives. Archives got like books from like the 15th century, 14th century when people first touched foot in Africa. And one of them I think I was reading was the something of Nigeria. I'll tell you in a minute. But in it, it's like these people was actually pushing their spirit into snakes and going on spying on the neighbors. Some of them will push their astral body into the dog. These was court cases. Yo, they had case. The chief was taking people to court, and all the court cases was for like what we consider obia today. But you see, the difference why I love it is that they don't say that a demon came and did it. It tell you that the neighbor put his spirit into the dog and had the dog snoop on the neighbors and did some things. And not just they was the only one who do it. The whole town was famous for doing stuff like that, projecting themselves into the crocodile and ate the man. This is for real. This is I will post the book on here so y'all can see for yourself about how many people knew how to come out their body. This thing that we're calling alien, all this stuff. These people did this and fucked each other up. These people was actually taking people and sacrificing them by putting them on the palm tree, spreading them out just for fertility reasons. Like if they couldn't get the food like for the season was bad in harvesting, or if the mother, the chief's wife couldn't get pregnant, they would go take somebody. Here go the funny part about it, because it gets deeper. They would take somebody and hang them on the tree alive till they die, leave them there to die. And guess what? Everybody in the chief's town, because you know these are tribes, was hoping to be the one chosen to get hung. Did you hear that? They was hoping to be the one. Like they raised these people just to do that. That was like a honor. I couldn't believe it. It was one warrior. I was reading one now where he was a Zulu now, and their punishment for a crime is to get thrown over a cliff into the alligator, eaten a fermente, just like in Egypt. This is actually how Zulu did it too. They fed you to the crocodile. So this one soldier or warrior now, he was on trial, and an American was trying to plea bargain for him. Yo, the American even offered mad money to the judge or the person who was the chief, and the chief took the money and was like, "All right, I'm gonna let him go." And the man said, "No, he's gonna be dishonored if he don't jump." And to give him back the money, and he jumped. He said the reporter was like, "Yo, I was fucked up over that, but that's how real they faith is. They be on that shit. You understand? So you got to realize this is another world. It's not like we might say it's evil, but for them, that's a way of life. We don't understand it. You understand what I'm saying? I understand it, but I know the average person, like how the reporter went there and plea bargained for the man not to get eaten and thrown over the cliff for the crocodile, but he realized something. There's something greater than everything, and there's something else going on here that we don't understand, and that's real. So I'm just putting you on because the main reason I'm telling you this is because we honor life, but we don't honor death. We're backwards. If we honor death, we would respect life. I'm gonna tell you like that. They did. So they know you can't die. So it was nothing for them. They because their religion teach them not to have one fear or to honor the body, meaning exalt it in any way. So if you wanted to buck that down, they're gonna still come at you and fight you. They're not scared to get stabbed. They're not scared. They don't. It's like an animal. You know, an animal fighting don't know he's cut. An animal is about to die. He don't even know he's gonna die. He don't feel those things because we're taught fear, we're taught pain, we're taught these things. You got to understand what's going on here. It's different. We're in a different frequency of reality than that took place. So you got to understand how it works. So I'm gonna just leave it at that right there, so we get a little bit deeper and more into this. I know it was BS, but this ancestor stuff, and I've never called out that I didn't see right exactly. LK Starfleet shows all that. It goes deeper than that. We have pictures of half people, half animals. Yeah, yeah. That's LK. Let me explain something to you. If you was to see your true self, that's how you look. Hello. Look at the Egyptians. Look in the coffin text. Look at all the pictures of the Babylonians. Look at the pictures of the Persians. Look at the Chinese pictures. Look at the Mayans. What makes you any different? No, you're not different. Only difference is your third eye is closed and calcified, and our pathway glands is closed too. But they see their own self. They see the aura. They see their magnetic field. They saw the gods. We don't see the gods no more. We only see flesh. We don't see that other body, but it's there. That's when you're able to see this. Yeah, the Chaldeans too. There you go. You could keep on going, and we would think that they're showing us something scary or creatures, but that's your soul. You see C.J. Jung. He do the picture. It's like a man wrapped around with a snake all wrapped around him with wings. That's you, a dragon. There is no such thing as a physical dragon. Who's a dragon? That's you. A human being is a dragon. Read the book of Job. Job 30, 32 or something like that. He said, I'm a brother to dragons. There's no human, there's no dragon that ran around in the ancient times. That's a myth. That dragon became your brain, your skull. That's why you had the double-headed dragon eating his tail. That's a part of you. We're talking on a different frequency of existence. But all of us is made up of, all right, let me give you an example. All right. Everything that came into existence is still here in you. You're a hologram of everything from the first big bang, or you want to say God himself was per birth, whatever, before darkness came, you was there first. So you're that, right? And so eventually everything start coming on to you that comes after that. So you're atom, proton, neutron, electron, blah, blah, blah. So now how does it work? It's like this. You see this light right here? As this light goes to me, as different frequencies to you. So you have different layers of calcification called brines. These now is ancestors on you. These ancestors that's on you. That's what when your relative pass away, he's an orb that flies to his closest relative and it stays on you. It's still you. It's still your mother. You're your mother. You're your father. It's continued. It's just the consciousness where your consciousness is at. But we all are just little orbs that make up eventually a physical form over a long period of time. So if you want a great example so you understand, remember now, in the beginning of the Bible, when God made Adam, he didn't go poof and Adam came in his hand. He took the dirt, something that was here already. He said it took the dirt. That means nothing that is in creation came from just poof. Everything came from the first and became the second and the third and the fourth till it came to what it is today. So you are the animal, you are the bugs, you're the trees, you're the everything, you're the crystal, you're the amoeba, you're the prokaryotic cell. You get it now? So when they say all of that, don't look at it in no bad way. Like they be like, I mean, the X factor thing with the blood is important because it tell you, you know, O or negative or whatever. And but when we talking about Neanderthal blood, you was the Neanderthal, you was the Cro-Magnon, we was everything. So don't look at it that way because look at the doggone. They say they come from the hyena. Look at the Chinese, say they come from the dragon. Look, everybody said they came from an animal. We in our ego would rather say we come from angels, but angels ain't real. Somebody made that up called the Hebrews. There's no such thing as that. If you go prior to that, angels was those things you're seeing that look like animals, and that's how they still look today. Angels is what you call devis. Trees are angel. That's why in the Garden of Eden there was trees, meaning there was angels in there. That's why you had a tree of life, an angel of life, and an angel of knowledge, or whatever it is. Those is all trees. Those is how you are now too. These are still in you. Everything is all one big thing. That's why when you go back to your true self, you go back in time. You regress all the way back till you go back to the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? So you will learn all of these things. That's why it says too, you're not a woman and you're not a man. And through the eyes, oh, I say this is the saying. He said, there's no Jew, there's no Greek, there's no man, there's no woman. You got to realize that you're not a woman. You got to realize he's not a man. Once you start having these type of things, these are the things that fuck you up. So if I say you're a woman, there's a direction for a woman. You're going to act within the construct of what a woman is. If I say you're a man, you're going to have to act within the construct of a man. But is that who you are? No, that's not who you are. Why? Because of the simplest sign. You're both, right? Look, right? You look at one is masculine, one is feminine. So you're both. Just in yourself. But you still came here as one soul, which is part of a twin flame. So you have another part to you, someplace out there that you have to get back. Once you start ascension, your twin flame come back. So you have a twin flame activation that you probably ain't catching over a million years. Probably you didn't even know about this until you saw this video. But you were supposed to do this from a million years ago. Find your twin flame. You don't look for your twin flame. You have to practice, participate in ascension. Once you participate in ascension, then twin flame automatically activates, and she'll find you. This is the story of the movie of Hancock. Hancock was a twin flame movie. You saw how Hancock was by himself or whatever, and the reporter was married to the white girl. The white girl is actually Hancock's soulmate. I mean, not soulmate, other half. You understand? What's the difference between twin flames and soulmate? Soulmates is more comforters. They're there to condole you. They're there to be there for you. Soulmates and relationship will work as far as marriage. Twin flames, twin flames is the opposite of soulmate. Twin flames is the highest calling from God in a relationship. That's the other opposite of your soul. So if you having the opposite, if you like light, that one's gonna like dark. If you like hot, that one's gonna like cold. That's what a twin flame is about. The twin flame is the one who's gonna bring out the truth in you. Gonna say you are pseudo. What do you mean get married? That's government shit. I don't have to need a contract to love you. The twin flame bring out the truth in you. He make you stop seeing all the government shit and your expectations and your dreams and see truth, and you start the real ascension with them. They do the real ascension. It's not about what you see on TV or expectations or all that stuff. That's not a twin flame. But twin flames have psychic abilities. When one feels something, just like in the movie Hancock, the other one feel it. Even if it's pleasure, pain, whatever one feel, the other one feel it. But only after one activate, then the other one feel it. So that's how twin flame works. So you got to understand these things is real. That's what you're really supposed to be participating, and that's part of ascension. You understand? You have to be knowing there's a God, that you have different sides to you. You're a seraphim, you're a cherubium, you're an Anunnaki, you're a reptilian. You have to know that about yourself because if you was to go through, read Serpent Power by John Widoff, and he teaches you about what actually occurs when your Kundalini activates. What happens? And he tell you about how all of a sudden it's like your consciousness dropped down to this dark place and you feel like you're being attacked by entities and beings and all types of stuff. So this could only, you could be sitting on the couch and it run only to you. It's not going to run concurrent with your family. So you could be going through a revelation and they in motherfucking Genesis in the Garden of Eden. You got to realize how it works. And so, but for you, it's a challenge to see who you are, where your heart is. This is called the weighing of the heart, to see where your heart is at. If you're a coward, if you're weak, you're scared of the dark, you're scared of, this is going to tell you who you are. They're not going to judge you. It's just going to show you who you are. Once you know who you are, you're either going to accept who you are, or you're going to change to who you think you are. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the ultimate decision maker to give you the opportunity to rise to who you want your mind to be or who you see yourself with. But you're led by your soul and you're led by your spirits. These is different. One is a soul. Spirits is a billion. It could be 100, depending how many you collect. That's your mother, your father, your auntie. All of those is already part of your spirits. Those your spirits is your genetic line. Whoever's in your genetic line is in your spirits. Your spirits is your thoughts, your intuition, what guides you, what say, turn right now, turn left now. Or a man come up with a gun and he's gonna try to shoot you, but he can't pull the trigger because your spirit is just blocking him. This is how it works. This is how it works. But you must have faith. It all work off of faith. You know what? Why? This is bugged out. I don't believe I'm telling having faith in 2020. You know why? Because if you don't have faith, you're gonna run to your government. Why people go and get insurance? Because they can't pay it, they feel. Why people get Section 8? Because they feel they can't pay their rent. Why people go get Medicaid and food stamps? Because they cannot wait and believe in themselves. They'd rather go get the quick fix. This is where you fuck up at. Remember, ascension is going from zero to nothing. I mean, to something. So you could be at 20. Let's say you're in ascension. You started ascension at 20. You got an apartment, a car, kids. But this is the problem with your thing. When you sit down with your income for the month and you do your deductions for the month, your net, what you have to spend, you realize you was already behind zero 3 weeks before the month was, I mean, on the third week. You still had another week to go before the month is up, but your money ran out already. You overspending. So you already was in a situation where you was gonna fall anyway. So you do strange extra shit, doing some Uber shit, some old popping some this or some side shit just to make ends meet. You already was in a negative. And so that's what Ascension to do. Ascension to make you see the truth in your shit. Drop yourself back down to zero. Probably go live back with your mother and go back to start off now. But this time when you earn shit, you earned it. You did it. You did it. You did it. Not because some old slick shit, some old nigga you fucked with or some bitch you fucked with. That's the slick shit. That don't work. You're going to eventually lose with that. You're going to have to first get it the right way by what we call faith in yourself. That's why I go back to faith. You gotta have faith and you gotta have the ability to suffer. To go to your mother's house, you can't go get a job that pays $500 a week and you eat $500 a week. You gotta eat sardine and bread. You need $450 a week put up. So you eat sardine and bread. This is the suffering part. You know you could go buy a steak. You know you could do, but why? Why why program your mind to eat steak when you can't afford it over a 4 months period? You want to afford it for the rest of your life. You could be like, yo, I remember when I used to eat sardine and all that. Now I laugh at that shit. That's how you want to be, but the way we think We just don't give a fuck. We lollygag and go do this, go do that, go do this. We ain't doing nothing. Just like you running on a treadmill, you ain't going nowhere. That gotta stop. This is how they throw the sicknesses in and the fucked up food in it and everything. That gotta stop. If you planning to make it out here in this world, you gotta know you against they little group that they kept the knowledge up here and give them. Give them a separate education. They still going to school. They still probably socializing, but down here we can't socialize. We can't go to school. So they getting the education. They making up the new apps. You're gonna see them at 20 years old, billionaires. While we down here, I ain't gonna say we made anything. We're losing out here. So they're taking everything up there by holding the education up there, the knowledge up there, while we down here partying. That's what's going on. Nah, we gotta change our demographics of that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Unless you're gonna take your little suffering, drop down a little level, sacrifice, get yourself in a position that you really is doing it, and then work your way up, or get you a partner that see your ambition and is gonna help you, not see his ambition. You gotta see your ambition. You're the driver, you're a passenger. So either that or you better get you a one seater. I'm keeping it real with you. You gotta do for yourself now. Put yourself in position. This is not the back in the days. There's no bunch of mistakes. We're not our parents. Stop that. You understand what I'm saying? So on that note, now you understand. Ascension is going up, but first you must realize you was fucked up. Drop yourself to where your level is at. Fuck what people think. Fuck what they saying. Fuck. Wear the same shit every day. Who give a fuck? And get yourself up. Save that money. Most of us live a standard of life instead of living to survive, living to make it to the next level. We living. They give you a raise and you go buy more a better car. Go buy more outfits. What the fuck is that? Nothing lasts forever. It's like seasons. And soon you're gonna see just like your parents. They got their house. They got this, but they ain't too great. They can't just pick up and go to Paris. They can't just go to Africa. What happened? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't fall into the same motherfucking trap, man. That's the realness right there. You understand? Once we understand that, then you get an idea more. Um, Let me read it. So, this is all in the genetic code. The creator is masculine and feminine energy. Yes, let me explain to you. Yes, it's put it like this. For it to exist, it needs both. It was like you need hot and cold, humid and dry. Everything exists on two planes. So there cannot be no discrepancies that God is a man or God is a woman. You need it both. The Jews called them Shekinah. Shekinah was in the regular Bible, that's in the Old Testament, that's what's called Israel. Israel and Edom. That's why Adam and Eve left to Edom. That's to the mother. It's always been Israel. Israel just got Israel in 1946. But Israel in the Bible is the woman. Okay. Look into it. Study Gnostic knowledge. Gnostic in the Gnostic Bible, they still call it Israel and Edom, and they tell you the story about it. But they always been together, and that's what the twin flame is the soul and the spirit of Edom and Israel still coming. I mean, God and about this whole reality being in, which is another whole another subject because it incorporates Tantra, Kundalini, all those things that we sell now. We pre-bargain ourselves. We be like, yo, if I'm gonna give you some pussy, you gotta be my man. You gotta take care of me. You can't use your pussy as no leverage. Same thing, a nigga uses dick to get girls and actually get things to capture her. If you're horny, you're gonna wanna have sex. That's it. Just that. When you're horny, you're gonna wanna have sex. But you don't wanna capture the motherfucker. You don't wanna keep the person. You don't wanna be a servant. You just go do that and go back to your life. But we follow a program. We've been programmed to do some shit that keep us in servitude to the government, and you don't realize it. You thinking you're hiding something. You hiding him from what? If he gonna do his thing, gonna do his thing. Hiding her from what? She gonna do her thing. She gonna do her thing. All you're doing is being a servant to the government. That's it. You don't even realize it. I'm not even going to teach you how you're serving the devil. And when you think about it, you'll realize it. If not, catch it in a later post or video. But I'm putting you on to game. If y'all planning to compete with this Democratic Party that is not playing, you got to wake the fuck up to what's going on. You understand? They're called elite because they got money to do it. They know we can't afford shit, so they put all fucked up shit in front of us. They know our mental discipline ain't there, so they give us these fake ass opportunities that they know we're gonna ace. They know how powerful you are. They know you're connected to God. They know your third eye open. They know a lot. They know you could probably astral project, but they not gonna let you take over their monopoly, their empire. That's what this is about. So instead of them just letting you live and do your thing, they control your mind. They make sure man of our families die and destroy us and hurt us to keep ourselves in a subservient mental state where we're mentally always afraid. We are so down right now. We put a leash on ourselves and not the whole you, who you are. That's what this is about. If you could free yourself from this, whatever they trying to push out, trying to tell you you're this, tell you you're that, this is gonna happen, the world is gonna explode, that. Forget about that, and just get yourself off the leash and be the you. You will see that God brought you here and He put the program in you to change this motherfucking game. You just ain't applying yourself. You're too busy playing. Be bored. Turn everything off. The more bored you are, the more your subconscious come up. Remember, the conscious is a program. You keep watching YouTubes and everything and all this stuff, you're gonna be keeping this running and rotating. You want to shut this down so the Noah come up. The Noah is back here. That's the Noah. Noah for real. It knows everything. It'll tell you what's going on and how to do it. So once this come up, you be sitting there and the next thing you're like, I got it. That's all you're gonna say. I got it, and you gone. But if you just worried and curious, that's what's on your mind. And if that's on your mind, you just can't work. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you free yourself up. You have to free yourself up to touch into everything from witchcraft to alien to astral projection to God. And I'm not saying nothing evil here. I'm saying God gave us all the ability to know the knowledge of God. This is the world of God called the Godhead, natural science. You need to know it. Don't think it's evil. It's what you do with it that's evil. Remember that. You understand what I'm saying? But you're here to learn. And don't be afraid to venture out, to make mistakes. When you make a mistake is when you learn something. If you didn't make a mistake, you didn't learn nothing. It's like you know, when you trip, boom, you made a mistake. Then you realize, oh, it's a hole right there. I bet you won't trip in that hole the second time. So only way you're gonna learn is by fucking up. And if you're afraid to fuck up, then you don't want to learn. You understand? That's that. That's that. And if you're afraid, there's a lot of people who want to do it perfect. That's the most weirdest thing in the world. Because if you doing something perfect, you already got it. You ain't learning one. Then if you do it perfect and expect to do it perfect, how do you expect to ever advance in what you're trying to learn? That's the weirdest thing I see, that society, everybody want to do it right the first time or just want to look like they know what they're doing. Nah, it's better to not look like what you're doing, because in the long run, when they teach it to you the right way, show it to you the right way, you know what you're doing. That's the most important part, is to chalk it up under the belt. I got this now. I got this now. I got this now. But if you're afraid to make mistakes, you're always going to be pretending like you know what you're doing, but you don't know what you're doing. And that's our common doctor, teacher, lawyer. They don't know shit. You probably know more than them. You ask them a simple question like, why is an A a A? I don't know. Why is one first? So you got to realize, if a person's not into it for the money, or I mean, in it to win it, they just into it for the money, and it's gonna show that. People just gonna put on that coat, go to work, and take it off, and go home and just loaf off and don't do nothing with their life. And if you're not working when you get off, and it's working when you're on, you always working. You got to look at it like that because intuition is by the minutes, by the second, by the hour. We on the cipher of a clock, 365 days. That it's a different God every day. It's a different God every month, a different spirit by the hours and the minutes. That's why you have Monday is a God, Tuesday is a God, Wednesday is a God. You hear the names, those is gods. You have to use your will, your intuition during those times because it has a lot to do with your birth chart. Certain things go good for you at night. Certain people, it goes good for them in the day. Some people, things go good between the hours of this. Some people it goes that. So you got to understand. That's why I say you got to be doing everything so you be able to chalk this up and know what's best for you, what works for you, and what don't work for you. If you don't, you're just gonna be like I said, going to work, coming home, sitting on the couch, and time catch you, disease catch you, and all the money you save at the end, like all of our parents, go back to Medicare and medical, and you don't get nothing at the end. Can't even go visit Paris. You understand what I'm saying? That's not how it's supposed to be, man. We the ones got to change the demographics of this. I hope I'll just give you a great understanding. I'm taking the time out because I don't like the way things is going, and I don't see it gonna get any better till we want better. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, Star, you asked some wonderful questions. I was saying, I really appreciate the questions you asked. That's really real. So, it's not just, one way, it's both. Yo, what's going on, James? Yeah, it was me and James was talking earlier. James Hayward. It's good to see you, my brother. Wink shallow, you're right, of course. Nothing good will come to us without a thought cleansing first. I can definitely believe that your ascension will be the realms of the gods. Trust me, man. Ascension is not easy. It's a very deceptive world we live in, and when you participate in ascension, the first thing you got to learn is whatever you think is what's going to happen in there. It's a mind. You read it in the Emerald Tablet of Thought when Thought says he's going back into a mental. He's going back into the mind. Once you realize that, then you know it's no such thing as death because everybody is alive over there. So nobody dead. And so once you go into mind, it's the hardest thing. They say when you die, you don't take nothing with you. Let me tell you like this because my battery's going to die soon. What you do take with you is your superstition, your beliefs, your fears, your compulsive reactiveness, your insecurities. It goes right with you. So you don't take something physical, but you take everything emotional. You take everything with you. So what wind up happening is there is a path over there you have to take. They're not just gonna let you come over into the spirit world. It don't work like that. You have an ethereal body, an astral body. Remember now, when we say ethereal body, so do plants have an ethereal body. So we share a world with plants. So plants is not what you think they are. On the physical earth, which will just be the root or the ground where the anchor sits, it's a plant to you. But in the up here in the ethereal world, it's a being. It's an angelic being. It shares a world with us, which is called ether. Now, we also have a dream body called an astral body. Now, believe it or not, animals have an astral body. So that same world we share with plants, we have it up there with animals too in our astral form, our dream body. And they're not animals up there. You'll be surprised. A lot of y'all is in relationship with y'all animals and don't know it's an animal up there in them dream bodies. And that's for real. So this is why the Chaldeans, the Egyptians make them that way in their pictures because they knew that they're not a pet. We was taught a tree is a tree and a cat is a cat and a dog is a dog. But you see, a dog come from Cyrus. That's where we got that in us, and all of this come from cats, come from Pleiades. All of these is different species, aliens that is here right in your face that you don't know is alien, but you think it's something like the dolphin. All of these come from different constellations long time ago that is here now. So once you understand that, ascension is knowing to sift out everything and make sense out of it. It's not, you're going to believe religion because religion is purposely made to block you from getting past the gates or the veil of the parallel. You see it as scary. Why would you see it as scary? It's the same like Jason. Jason is not something in a scary movie. Jason is actually in your subconscious. And they make it so when you go back to your subconscious, you be scared because you're seeing Jason. They took all the scary stuff that's inside of you is not scary, and they put it and made it scary into movies. All of that is inside of you. So you got to realize, same thing with religion. They demonize your own spirit, so you're afraid to take a journey into the higher path. But you read now or follow people like Rudolf Steiner, who teaches about other worlds, or anybody who goes into these other worlds. That's what they're going to tell you they see. That's what they tell you they encounter. Read the first published book of the Bible that has the pictures in. I think it was called Solus Invictus or Solar Codex Invictus. You see pictures of angels. They got horns with wings and is holding like a pitchfork around Saint Michael. That's not a demon. Those is angels. They've just been modernized now to look like Europeans or whatever, beautiful people. But that's not how they look. And when you cross over, that's not what you're gonna see. But so if you didn't know this, you're gonna be spooked. What I'm trying to tell you, if you want to be for sure about what I'm saying, y'all see them in your dreams. Stop running in your dreams and watch what happens. If these things is what they say they are, they're gonna kill you, they're gonna bite you, they're gonna eat you, they're gonna cut you. Stop running in your dreams. I bet you they stopped running too, because they was never chasing you. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Stop running in your dreams. Codex Gaius, Codex it'll come to me. Give me a minute. Because, it's been a minute since I ran through that book. I'll probably post it for you, too. All right, now, the broken program, I see it now, brother. I see all the time there's discipline, mind control. True. You see, that's the only thing that they have over us. They only can fuck with us in the mind. You know, I'll tell you two things. One, the control of your mind is everything. That's why you have government, being mental and governed. Your mental is being governed. And for the record, from Tesla made up those experiments, they've been on the same frequency of our brain, messing with our emotions. That's why we have so many autoimmune diseases and so many people have mental issues. And a clear cut sign that this was a deception to hurt human beings is because the same mental diseases is in India under Kundalini Sanskrit books, but over here they don't treat it. You get put in a mental institute and you put on prescription drugs. But when you go to India and to the east, they actually have places, sanctuary for them and monasteries, and they spend time with them as they go through what was called the process of the Kundalini or alchemy now is what's taking a course in their body, go through calcination, the negrito. It's different stages to it, but they facilitated the conditions for them to have this mental condition that makes them actually one of the smartest men in the community when it's over. So we have it over here, but and the Europeans over here know about it, and they could actually put it and implement it into the system, but they don't. They keep that over in India and act like they're naive to Kundalini and what is going on with everybody, and there's no cure. That's what C.J. Jung tried to make a difference. If you study C.J. Jung, he brought it over to the West and explained it to everybody. But they don't want to help us. They want it to be like, no, it's mental disease. We need to sell our drugs to them. We need to get our pharmaceutical drugs in them. And these families been living on for us for generations. The same family as all the presidents. Trump is related to them. Obama is related to them. We feed and is servant to one family that owned the railroad to the media to the transport. They own everything. But as long as we want an easy life, that's what it means. I'll give you uh, the thing to it is that we file these paperwork. This will now would take us into our citizenship, the all caps name. when you file for an application for a job, you know that you actually reserve your rights, or I mean, not reserve a right, you sign away your rights as a natural citizen to become a all cap citizen. That's the only reason you'll get a job, because the job get medical benefits and all these other benefits, and the only way they have jurisdiction over you is through your all caps name. But you have to waiver your rights on your application through the verses or through any type of what we call a job application, is what's called a wavering of your rights, so that your straw man could get the benefits. And the only reason your straw man have to do it is because these companies you're going to go seek a job from get government benefits. So government stipulated that they make you waiver your rights. You understand what I'm saying? So when you do that, you're taxed. A human being, if your name was lowercase j, I mean capital J and then lowercase for John and capital D and then lowercase for Doe, they can't tax that. That's called a free enterprise person. You could do business without no government involved. But once you file in your all caps name, which is required on all applications, that means you waived your rights as a human being, and you're using your all caps name, which is capitalism. That's why you fall under corporate laws and they have jurisdiction over you. And they only make statutory laws for you to live under. Once you realize these things is holding you, making you believe these things, you will start waking up and say, hey, I don't have to answer to this. Hey, taking on this job, I'm going to be a servant. Not just my soul is going to disassociate from me, but I'm also giving up my rights as an inalienable human being and my proper persona to be my corporate self and be a servant. Under that, when you put your name in all capital letters, you gave up all your rights. That's a person that put themselves as a servant, a slave. There's two, three ways that it could be done. You can have your name just the regular way, like we said, the first letter only and the first letter of your last name. That's called common law, but that's called the metos maxim minima. That means that your name has all legal rights to it, and you're a sovereign human being. But if you have just like your first name with the first letter John and the lowercase, but your last name is in all capital, that's a person who's been expelled from a country, deported, or lost half his rights. Now, when your name is in all capital letters, you lose all your rights. That means that you're captured, you're a prisoner of war. That's why your name is in all capital letters. So you have to understand those terms that you're doing business under, or you could do business under your name as a free enterprise where government can't touch you. You understand? So I just wanted you to understand these things. So, which bar lines is that you was talking about astronomical? James Howard between. I got the pendant and make me feel like super gravity is on me. Oh, okay, James. For the record, I do sell pendants. James just got one. He's telling me that his pendant finally arrived. Let me show you. I make these pendants here now, and I do crystals. Y'all already know I do all that. But I'm gonna start doing like auctions on it over here. But this is one like he had bought. You see this one right here? This is all turquoise right here in the center, and this one got the what's this? The camel count? No, this is yellow quartz right here. Now I got a whole bunch of different ones. Like this is the amethyst with the chameleon in the middle. You see, these is now I sell these. So he just got his like this. His was the lapis lazuli. I got two of his. I'm gonna show you which one he got real quick. But I'm glad to hear, James, that you got it. It took a long journey to get to you. But I want y'all to know I'm gonna be doing these auctions with these pieces, so y'all gonna see what hello I've been up to. So there's pieces like this, like I'm doing dragons. These is dragon pendants, you put them on in the pendant. I draw these on there myself. Everything I do myself. That's a black dragon, that's who you are. This is your soul. Don't think of it as just a black dragon part of your soul. or some cult. No, everybody's soul is a dragon. That's why it says in the Bible, when the Lamb unleashes the seventh seal, what comes up when he opens the seventh seal? The woman and the dragon. So this is your soul. This is what it means. You understand? So I got those. I got different style too. I do all ones. This is another one I did. As you can see, this one got a cult symbols on it. These is actually. I want to show you the one like James got. This is the one James got. I got one like this, and I'm doing all types. I even got ones that actually open up like this. These is gonna be charms. I'm just showing you these right here. See, you can order these from me. Open it up, and inside of it is a sigil. All these got sigils on the inside of it. I got sigils for love. And all of these is handmade. I hand make them all myself. This is all man, he's catching a little writer's block right there, but y'all know what this is. I got that too. I'll tell you in a minute. Um, let me see. So I showed y'all the red dragon. Here go the white dragon. I do it in white too. All of these is handmade. Every single one is handmade. Top of the line, everything. So I'm gonna be doing a quick little video on these, but I'm just giving y'all a little heads up so you can see what type of pendants I want. This is for protection too. This one say I am will. Um if you look at it go around, that's what it says. I am will with a lapis lazuli and they got the scarlet purple. So I make all of these myself plus a whole bunch more. We ain't even get started, but I was just giving y'all a little example so you can see all of these is all natural and real. Anyway, um, Star Tarot 13, Amethyst. Thank you, James. Yeah, I couldn't get the Amethyst out with me for nothing for a minute there. Well, but I got a lot of beautiful ones. Here got another one. I love this. This to me, I call it the scarab because it got like a scarab look to it. This is the turquoise and the emerald around the side. And, here go another one with the lapis lazuli in the middle and the emerald around. This is perfect too, how this came out. These is all real. You can order them from me. I'm working on these right here. These is lockets that, as you can see, I'm doing it with the dragon in it. I make them up. So it's like you open them up and you have them as pendants, but they different. So all of them, thank you, y'all. Thank you. It's just don't want to get them now because that's not what this video is about. But they all beautiful, every single one. I make them all myself and they're all natural. So just stay tuned. Y'all gonna start seeing them in all the different flavors and styles. And we see that it's not just about the knowledge. We have fun. We have fun, makeup crafts, and I do herbs too. I'm gonna teach y'all about my extracts, before I go. Like this one right here. This is one I've been sipping on really. This is called the Carol Bush with spirulina. And the way Enki make it, I'm gonna have to hold it down here. I want y'all to see what it does. Let me see if this one do it. Oh, this one is not active. I want y'all to see how active it is. When I crack these open, it's like opening a bottle of champagne. I don't want to get too distracted with y'all, but it's